Since the recent update to the Atari website and the Atari VCS website, we've gotten a chance to take a look at some of the things that Atari is offering in 2022 to 2023. And on their website, immediately you'll see titles from the Recharge series, especially their top two hitting Recharge titles right now, and of course their new games Atari 50 and Atari Mania that's coming to the Atari VCS and other consoles in the coming future. But more importantly, they're also showcasing Roller Coaster Tycoon, which is one of their leading brands both on Android, PC, and more. The only thing that bothers me the most out of this is, for some reason, Roller Coaster Tycoon has not come to the Atari VCS yet, seeing as they specialize in simulator games. If you go to Google Play, you'll see Roller Coaster Tycoon Touch, and then you'll see, of course, all the other games that they offer, like Roller Coaster Tycoon Puzzle. Now, again, we're not really here to talk about these games, but there are two games in particular that I really think they should bring to the Atari VCS. As we already know, they've brought Combinator to the console as well. But what they haven't taken advantage of are these two games right here, Ninja Golf and Days of Doom. So we're going to take a look at these games. Days of Doom has been around for some time, but essentially what it is a post-apocalyptic world about these characters who are trying to survive in the middle of the apocalypse, where you build your cities and so on and so forth. More importantly, it has gotten such recognition because of the soundtrack that they use from Satillo, who is a fantastic musical composer. And if you're not familiar with his work, I would highly recommend that you look into it. He has some amazing, thought-provoking music if you're into instrumental, if you're into modern classical music as well. Let's see exactly what this game has to offer. So right off the bat, you basically go through a series of levels, you build up your armies, you collect new items, you fight a barrage of zombies, nightwalkers, these lizard-like people. You also get people that are kind of like out of the Badlands and so on and so forth. And it ultimately results into a PvP-style game. You can unlock the arena and the dungeons to advance into the game. You also get a wide variety of characters that you can unlock along the way. I believe it's a total of 35 or 37 characters. We'll take a look at that real quick. 1 second here. So clearly there's definitely a lot to pick through here. You also have a variety of avatars, and you can unlock more avatars as you go. Going back into this, you can take a look at the comic book style art that really makes this game stand out more than any other game that is on the current Atari library. Now, one thing to note is that, again, this is an Android title. So implementing this onto the Atari VCS may be a little bit difficult than most, but I think that with a recent update and then a little bit of controller support, or allowing us to use, say, for example, the mouse for it, could be implemented very well. I mean, as you can see, just on the touchscreen alone, it fits great. I have done a USB mouse, does the job. I have a converter for my phone. I mean, every phone nowadays has that option, just most people don't utilize it because touchscreen, so why would you? You also will build your own city, add your own environments, and so on and so forth to help support your supply, your demand. You unlock other items. You can, of course, purchase certain items like chests that give you more cool things. You can also unlock things for free by viewing an ad. We're going to go ahead and skip the ad and get straight to the chest, because that's really what the point of this is. I don't want to advocate for any other advertisers or anything at all. I just want to showcase the game. You can see all the chests here that you can unlock, and then you can, of course, see the items that come out of it. You can equip those new items as you level up. You can unlock your ranks and stuff, and these ranks will allow you to level your characters up even higher. So, let's also take another look at this. So you have all these other buildings you can select. There's nowhere to build, so you unlock land. And once you put these new items here, or these new buildings, you get resources and benefits from doing so, just like any other world simulator game. One of the coolest features that I personally think happens to be the arena, which I can't show you just yet because it takes some time to unlock that. But basically, the arena will allow you to play other players across the world. That could be something very useful for the Atari VCS and could also spark some more intrigue for Days of Doom. So what are your thoughts? What do you think about the art style? Do you think the gameplay would be beneficial to Atari VCS players? I mean, I understand that Atari is trying to go for nostalgic games and everything, but at the end of the day, I think this would be a perfect fit for the Atari VCS because it gives people another reason to be engaged. Plus, it's an exclusive title, so that also means that it would be exclusive both to Android and to the Atari VCS, which is something that the VCS really needs. We're only getting timed exclusives at this time. We need things that are going to draw people to the system. One of the biggest problems is that Atari isn't really trying to market the console as, well, a console, because essentially it's a PC and a console, but it's a console first, but also doubles as a PC. And that's where the confusion lies. Once it comes straight out of the box, it is marketed as such, as a console, but you can use it as a PC if you desire. Now, another game that we're looking at right now happens to be Ninja Golf. Yeah, I know, big booty joke. Just trying to have a little bit of fun here while we can. Now, what is Ninja Golf? Well, obviously, it was originally a 7800 title, and it is currently featured on the Atari VCS, the classic version. Now, this is a modern version, originally launched in 2019. It is an Android touchscreen-based game, but look at the graphics here, right? I think that with the right controller implications, we could really do something amazing with this game. And because it's still in early access, it means the game itself is not entirely finished. So there's a chance that if people get enough attention on this game, we could end up seeing this come to the Atari VCS. There's a market for it. I think people would love it. I think that with proper controller support, it would fit the narrative for modern retro games that we're looking for here. So in this game, you essentially control a ninja, which you can customize and so on and so forth, and you go and you basically play golf and you fight your way to the hole. Taking a look even further into the game, you get a chance to see some of the things that you can unlock throughout it. You get more coins, more gems, more putters, more characters, and it takes time to unlock other items. You also get your daily quests, and with those, of course, you get rewards and so on and so forth, and you can kind of work your way up through the leaderboards, which again is something people really want to see with the Atari VCS. You also get, like, every day you can get a chance to unlock some other free stuff, which also at times counts as a quest. You can see the types of putters, you can see the video rewards, you can see the types of balls that you can use, some each having their own special abilities, which I think is very cool. The hardest part with this is, again, the ad system. Converting this to the Atari VCS may not necessarily be ideal, but it's an interesting concept nonetheless. But hey, look at these graphics. Look at how awesome this is. As you advance in the game, you get more immersive environments. You get water, you get lava, you get sand pits, you get all kinds of creatures and animals and stuff that you can unlock. And I sucked at that shot. I know it looks so bad. But you get all these really cool features that makes this game stand out on its own. This combines a mixture between sportism and action in a way that is both colorful and inviting, and I really think it would fit at home on the Atari VCS. Taking a closer look here, you can see how diverse this character selection is for early development. You get quite a decent amount thus far. The only one I haven't unlocked so far is the Oni character. As far as selection of balls and everything and what they all do, as you see, I don't use a whole lot of them because they're not really needed, but they're nice to have. So you have the Earthquake Golf Ball, you have the Fly Free, you have the Standard, which is the infinite use, and Standard Ball, whatever. Side Spin, Sticky Ball, and this allows it to stick instead of sliding away whenever you don't want it to. As far as your weapons, which help aid you in combat along the way, you have weapons specifically catered to certain characters. And then ultimately you have your shuriken, which you can only use limitedly for each level. Is that even a word? Limitedly? And then, of course, all of your drivers. Now, let's go ahead and look at the leaderboards here. So you can select whichever levels you've unlocked thus far, and so on and so forth. And now, again, with this being early development and whatnot, everything has not been added or unlocked or finished. And we are still looking at a possible tournament option coming soon. So for the first two levels we've been looking at Mount Fuji and Mount Fuji 2. What we're going to look at next is probably going to be the Outback, because this is really where those environments start to change here. Now you're getting yourself exposed to things like rain, high winds, lava, and then of course you have these very, very expansive environments that just add so much luster to it. I mean, you got fallen rocks and everything. And the way that this works here is you pull down. I'm just going to do a random shot here. And the trick is to line it up with the green. If not, then, you kind of screw yourself. But hey, slice. Boom. Yes, now I'm in the rough. It also tells you your environment. And also introducing some new characters here. The Exploder. Boom. So we're going to go ahead and run up over there. We're going to take a look. Get a double jump going. These are your shurikens over here. I'm going to avoid that ball for just a second to show you a few things. Boom. And it'll take some time to reload. You collect more coins. You get a little dash shot. Boom. And let's also not forget the fact that you get these other environmental things. You can see over here where you can sort of see the Atari logo right over here. And of course you got to jump to that. That gives you another 300 points. Also aids you if you really mess up on a shot, so you can still get 3 stars. I mean, look at how expansive this level is. Just to kind of get away from these guys. Sand will slow you down. Bombs will slow you down. We're just going to not deal with that right now. Da-da-da. And enemies. Enemies galore. Environmental hazards, too. Taking a look at another game that Atari really needs to revamp. This is called Asteroids Star Pilot. This was an old... well, I don't want to say old. They removed it from the store like a year ago. Less than a year ago. And basically, this is a space shooter based on Asteroids, and if you are a classic Atari fan, chances are you have played or have enjoyed Asteroids and probably still love Asteroids to this day. I mean, it has a leaderboard system that is surprisingly still active. Kind of surprised me when I realized this. But the way that Google Play works is that whenever a game doesn't get enough recognition within a certain time period, they force you to remove it. With this game, you get a variety of ships that you can unlock and play, and then you also have all these other environments that you can open up to, and you can upgrade and all of that, and it really helps with your stats here. This is basically what you do in this game, first off. So you go to the missions, you select your ship, boom. I mean, look at this animation, it's nice. It's a straightforward space shooter, and your objective here is to shoot at, meteors as you go on this straight path. Try not to run out of lasers, otherwise you're going to be dodging like crazy. The game handles very well, and it would be interesting to see this on the Atari VCS, because I think that it would implement very well with the modern controller. I mean, even being able to customize it for the classic controller would be interesting to see, but also incredibly unlikely due to how much they would have to map to the controllers. Now, the objective here is to build up the score, unlock points, advance in the missions, and so on and so forth, and then eventually get to the main boss, which is this giant meteor that you have to blow up. And so right here, you're supposed to collect these nodes for points. You miss too many of them, you lose, but it's fun. My control with it is not all that great, because I usually suck at these little physics games, and that's really what it is. You have gravity fighting against you, and you have to collect these as you go. So try not to miss too many of them here. Yep, I'm missing quite a bit. Let's try that again. There we go. And then once you get to the next level, we'll get to the final boss and move on to the last game of the video. Next mission. And here we go. Boom. Let's go. Alright, let's make it through here. We gotta get to that big meteor in the distance. If you can't tell, I very much enjoyed this game already. I definitely feel that Atari needs to bring this game back. Make it a PC port or something to give it kind of a new light, a new bit of luster. I mean, graphics and attention to detail here was done very well. I don't see why this wasn't a hit. But, sometimes it's just kind of how it goes. This is one of those games that's kind of been lost to the void, unfortunately. I need some more lasers. I think that was my last one. Ooh, boy. Yep, that's it. That's my last laser. I don't know if I can do anything with that. Let's see what happens here. Oh, sweet. Get ready to fire the missile at the target. Boom. Let it go. Ta-da! Back to the hangar. And that's it. That's Asteroid Star Pilot. It's a pretty fun game. I think would sit right at home on the Atari VCS. What do you think? Alright, we're going to take a look at another game here called Pong Quest. Now, Pong Quest has been around for some time, and it's honestly kind of got a little bit of a weird history. We'll get into that in a minute. So, Pong Quest essentially is Pong. I mean, it's what Atari was known for. It was one of their highly marketed games back in the 70s and early 80s. And basically, the premise of this game is that you battle other characters in this Pong-related universe. You play through a series of other mini-games that allow you to unlock other items and power-ups and special abilities and so on and so forth. And even to this day, there are still some streamers who have been talking about this game. Streamers like The Brutally Honest Gamer or even E-King have talked about this game before in the past. But if you're not looking for just exclusive Atari content, two other good streamers to look out for on YouTube is both Raya and Dorkzide, so shout out to them. Go check them out. This game was featured on the Xbox Store, the PlayStation 4 Store, Nintendo Switch, Steam, PC, but for some reason it's not come to the VCS yet. And this falls into the library of games that are either owned by or supported by Atari that still haven't seen a release on the VCS. I will be doing an updated video about this later on. Now, in this universe, you save other characters, you play other mini games. Like, there's this really cool breakout mini game that we're getting ready to come across here in just a second. But what are your thoughts? I mean, the art style for this is very similar and reminiscent to the Atari Mania game that Atari has been putting out along with the Atari 50th anniversary game. But, I mean, I feel like Pong Quest as a whole would sit right at home with the rest of the library of Atari VCS, because a lot of these are nostalgic related video games that are reimagined in a modern light. I seem to quote that often, and I think that this fits that general narrative. But what are your thoughts? I want to hear what you guys think about this game or the other games that we've mentioned throughout this video. I do want to wrap this up because I feel like the video is getting a little bit long. So with that in mind, my name is Kaz Danazon, and I appreciate you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Remember to drop a like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.